Hey everyone, you're listening to On My Watchlist, a podcast about everything TV and film. I'm Colette.
And I'm Sarah. We'll tell you what we're watching and what you should be watching.
Welcome back to On My Watchlist. We took a week off, but it's okay because that just means that we watched a lot more.
We watched so much. Yeah, we gave ourselves a break. And in the meantime, we watched a lot. I'm telling you, my list is very long. I've got a lot to talk about. Colette, I know yours is also a long list, but it's not as long as mine. So, let's get right into it because we got a lot to talk about this episode. Colette, what did you watch?
Okay, I watched a lot of TV shows.
Okay.
I watched a lot. Now, you suggested it. I watched it. The Great. We are on season 2 now.
Oh, you're on season 2.
We're on season 2. I'm trying to remember. I think I'm on episode 5 right now.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're halfway through.
It's been my new getting ready in the morning show.
Okay. Does it put you in a good work mood?
It does. I gotta admit, it took me a little bit to get into it though.
Okay.
It took me a little bit. I do like Nicholas Hoult better in the second season.
He's definitely got a different vibe. He's got a more.
Yeah, I like sad puppy Nicholas Hoult.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's
adorable. But then he's fighting whether he should be a good person or just be who he is.
Yeah, there's also a lot of people on that show that annoy me.
Like who?
Like the patriarch.
Oh yeah, his name. Yeah, he looks like Rasputin.
Is he not? No, I'm just kidding.
Before that time, way before that time.
Yeah. But he annoys me. I do love. Is it Mariel?
Mariel, yeah, I love her. The friend.
Her. At first, I was like, "Ooh, she did her wrong," but then I backtracked from that. But yeah, she's my favorite.
Yeah, the end of season 2 is really good. It makes me super excited for season 3. Yeah, I mean the end of season 1 was really good.
The end of season 1 was really good. I will admit that last episode, but because I've been watching it in as I'm getting ready, sometimes when it ended on season 1, I didn't know if it was the beginning of season 2 or if I still have one episode left on season 1.
Okay.
It was a weird little thing.
Yeah.
But after I didn't realize I was on season 2 already, so that was cool.
That happened to me with one of the ones I watched. I was like, I wonder when when it switches over, and I clicked in. I was like, oh, I'm 3 episodes into season 2 already. Thanks, Netflix.
So if you haven't watched it, listen to Sarah. Watch The Great. It's funny.
It's really funny. It's very crass.
It is very crass. Elle Fanning, she fits the role so well.
Yeah, she does. She really does. You know what I noticed too? The looks of all the people fit it too. This is so random, but next time you watch, pay attention to this. All the women have these little, so these are supposed to be people high society people, among the king. It's the court with the kings and queens and stuff. They all have the women have little upturned noses that are really, they just look like,
you know what? Now that you mention it,
high society. Yeah. I don't know why.
I wonder if a lot of it's makeup. It can't be.
Oh, I don't know. I just noticed it with all the women. I was like, wow, they all
There's that one girl
look because they look like they have their noses up high kind of thing.
I think they do that too a lot. They put their head up.
Oh, well, yeah.
They sneer at her a lot, but it makes me so because I've been watching it. I mean, this kind of goes into what I want to watch, but it keeps giving me Catherine the Great to watch with Helen Mirren. I think is in that one. On Hulu, so that's on my list now because I'm watching The Great, so it's suggesting it.
Okay, cool. Helen Mirren's gonna come up on my list.
Okay,
now that you brought that up,
we love her. Okay, so other than The Great, I also wasn't feeling well last weekend, and I binge watched Cheer on Netflix. Okay, so I was obsessed with the first season. I have never cheered in my life. In fact, if it was between being a cheerleader or a mascot, I'd probably be the mascot. In fact, I was a few times at work.
I was a mascot for my first job. I worked at an ice cream store and they had a cow mascot, and I would wear that to events and stuff.
Amazing.
And I was telling coworkers actually this the other day about it, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, that's so great! That's so hilarious!" I'm like, "It's not embarrassing at all because like no one knew I was in it." So,
it's great, right?
yeah, especially when it's something that covers your face, no one knows it's you, so you can
I
like
think
really
it's
act out.
fun. But this is not about mascots. This is about people who are actually like gymnastically
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah. I went
And
to I
Have not watched cheer. I kind of uninterested. I'm uninterested in it because my brother was a competitive cheerleader, so I went to those competitions and stuff. I just yeah, and I mean, who knows?
were
I
you
could be wrong.
cheering cheerleaders?
No, I
Oh,
was not, and I get your
bring it on.
reference. I get your reference, but I
Okay,
wasn't.
good.
I was not.
I was always just trying to entertain myself.
I like because of Bring It On, I always want it to be Missy because I also like had a Eliza Dushku phase because of Buffy the
Yeah,
Vampire Slayer.
everybody wanted to be her.
Yeah, like I even tried to
period.
make my hair like her. It was terrible. It did not look right.
Oh.
But anyway, I watched the first season when it first came out, and I got everybody at our old employer to watch it. I became obsessed with it. And the second season hit, and I didn't even know they were doing a second season. And it's not bad. The first season's way better, but the second season's good. So if you like docuseries, it's one to watch.
I do like a docuseries. I have a docuseries on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched that.
Okay.
Along with that, I watched an animated show called Arcane that has been highly suggested to me by everybody.
I think I saw that. Is it on Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
I don't really like to watch a lot of animation. I don't know if it's anime or if it's a video game or an anime video game, but it's based off a video game.
Okay. It all's blurred lines to me.
It's a blurred line here. I'm not that well versed, so sorry, guys. But it was suggested and I watched it and it is so good.
What is it about?
What is it?
I haven't looked into it. I just saw the poster or whatever.
Okay, so it's about two sisters and basically their home, their family get ripped away from them. They're kind of living in like this post-apocalyptic world. There's like an underground society and like the above ground society, which is like better than everybody else. And they treat the underground like nothing, like dirt.
Okay.
So they go and they like try to steal things from above ground. And what ends up happening is I don't want to give it away.
You don't have to give it away. I get it now.
Okay.
I get it. They're fighting the above ground.
So they're fighting the above ground people. But anyway, something happens and the two sisters get split up. And then it cuts to like 10 years later. And the little sister becomes like this unhinged person. And it's amazing. She's very Harley Quinn vibe.
Oh.
There's some definite Harley Quinn influence there, but it's good. I suggest it. It's a good watch.
Okay.
It's an easy watch too.
Okay.
They're good. I did start Yellowjackets.
Okay, I watched and finished Yellowjackets.
You did? You finished it? Okay, I'm on episode 5.
I think there's only like 8 episodes. Like
Is there?
I think it's pretty short. Yeah, it's intense. That's an intense show.
What are you thinking? Because
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Good.
It is very Lord of the Flies. Like when I was talking about
this one is Lord of the Flies.
It's very Lord of the Flies.
As I was watching it, I was like, this is more Lord of the Flies, whereas the Wilds is not.
Okay. See, I like the whole like everybody turning on each other.
My only thing is I'm like 5 episodes in right now, and they keep saying, well, you don't know what happened to me on the island or when we were lost. And I'm like, okay, what happened? We're 5 episodes in. Let me see.
I mean, like the first scene makes it pretty obvious that like
I know, but watch The Wilds. I'm telling you, because that show hit. I'm like, okay.
Well, this show is really good. It's super good.
No, it is really good. The storytelling's really good.
The storytelling's really good.
You know who I didn't know was in it? Christina Ricci.
I knew she was in it.
I had no idea, and she's psycho.
Oh yeah, she's crazy.
She's
love
crazy.
It. And the girl who plays her, young version, she's in a lot of things, and she's good at playing psycho.
What is she
very
from?
good
Because she looks very familiar.
She was in Shameless. Do you watch that show?
When?
Are you like caught, like you've watched
Oh
all
yeah,
of
I'm
it?
completely done.
She was the crazy girl that Carl dated.
That was her?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know who she is. Okay.
She's
I
in
was
a
like, she
couple
looks
other
so
things, but
familiar.
that's what I specifically remember her from. And she's really
Okay.
good at playing a crazy
I didn't
person.
IMDb her yet. And I was like, this girl looks so
She
familiar.
pops up. She's on TikTok, and she pops up on my TikTok every now and then. And she does this bit where where she acts like she's bumping into another young actor. And she goes, "Oh, I'm also an actor." And they're like, "What are you in?" And she's like, so she like says what she's in. It's always something where she's in an absolute psycho, and it
Oh, is
freaks the
that
other
the same
person out.
girl? She comes up on mine.
Yeah.
Why does she look completely different?
That wig and glasses.
Wow, she's a good actress.
She's a good actress. She's a
She's
good
a
actress.
really good actress.
Yellowjackets is very graphic.
It is
Very graphic. If you're wanting to watch it.
definite trigger warning there. It was It was a lot.
Yeah.
That first episode was.
It makes me think of though, what would you do if you were in that situation?
I'd
Like
die.
what kind
100%.
of person would you be? Like in the crash, you just automatically
I'd just be dead.
make sure that you died in the crash.
If I somehow survived, I would definitely
Do
not.
people even survive crashes like that? Like, is that even like in the
There's
history?
a lot of them too.
In the history of major plane crashes, do people even survive? I feel like those jetliners, like really people don't survive those.
That just reminded me of that Grey's Anatomy episode though.
I don't watch Grey's Anatomy.
Well, there's the plane crash episode, and when I first saw that, I was like, how in the world did they survive?
Yeah,
because the plane was split in two.
It was split in two in this one too.
That was also like, I'm also like a weirdo. Like if I go on a trip, somehow I always end up watching a movie on the flight that has a plane.
Nice.
Something happening to it.
Nice.
Castaway on a plane. That wasn't a good idea.
Perfect.
I watched Manifest on my last trip.
The plane doesn't crash in Manifest though.
But they
it's still weird. You're like, I hope we make it in this time zone or in this. Let me tell you, year.
The guy sitting next to me happened to look over, and it was the scene where like it's the beginning scene where like the plane's kind of like shaking and stuff, and he's like, he gave me this look that was like, "Are you really watching this right now?"
Perfect. Yeah, but watching it made me think of like what kind of person I would be if I was stuck in that situation where you're like lost, stuck in the wilderness with a bunch of people. And I definitely think I would be the person who's like, okay, well, we're going to be here a while. We better start figuring out how to.
I think that would be me.
Survive.
But I would also be hyperventilating while doing it.
Good. I would knock you out so that you're out of the way. And I would set things up so that when you woke back up, you'd be like, oh, okay, maybe we can survive.
I'd also be looking for like any type of bug spray.
You know, they're not like, they don't try very hard to find food on that. Like they go really hunting, but it's like there are so many things out in the woods that you could eat. And like, so it shows them like eating some bugs and stuff. And I'm just like, there's things other than bugs you can eat. You can find nutrients and
there was like a lake.
Right.
I'm like
I mean, I guess
fish
at a certain point. Right, exactly. In that guy's cabin, I'm sure he has fishing stuff.
Yeah. But, that was disgusting though when she opened that thing. Yeah, it's a gross scene. So if you get queasy, don't watch it.
Oh yeah, I skipped. There was something that happened that I just fast forwarded through.
I fast forward through some of it.
Yeah, just because I was like, oh, I don't want to watch this.
It was a lot. I mean, I'm trying to remember. There's some things that happen in the wilds, but I feel like this was way more graphic.
I mean, yeah, but I guess it centered a little more around reality. I definitely tell you what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't be that girl who's like, I don't want to sit here and die. I'm going to go off and find help with just us and no shelter and nothing like that.
Yeah, no, I would not be her. No.
I'd be like, I'm going to figure out how to live out here like a mountain person. And that's it. I'm just going to be like that raised by wolves kind of person.
I would just be like, if you told me what to do, I would just do it. But other than that, I would be like, oh God, get me out of here. I don't know what to do. I'd be like the person on the beach, like putting the help in like sticks.
That's fine. That's helpful.
Is it though?
It's better than the one girl who just sits around bitching. that one girl who's just like that's all she ever does is just like talks down to them, tells them what they're doing is useless and stuff like that. That girl would
Which one
be
is it?
gone.
You know what my other
The
thing
popular
is?
girl, the like girly popular
Yeah.
girl. Like she'd be the first. I would kick her out. I would vote her off the island.
She was really annoying. Yeah. Does she get more annoying as it goes on?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah.
You're
I don't
almost
like her.
there.
I'm almost there.
Yeah. That would I'd almost like I say I wouldn't go off on my own, but I think if people got on my nerves enough, I don't know.
You probably would.
I'm
Maybe.
a take charge. I'm definitely a take charge person though. So I would be the one who'd be like,
I'd be afraid to do
all right, here's what we're gonna do. For me, once you find that cabin, you're golden. Like that's the
you think
one basic the lake and the cabin, water and shelter.
Well, yeah, I mean they should just stay in the cabin, but like
they have a whole cabin, a whole little house with separate rooms and stuff, and a lake.
But you know what that tells me? If there's a cabin, there has to be other people.
No. Have you ever been to the Appalachians?
Does it look like I've been to the Appalachians?
No. No, but there's like in Canada or whatever, and there's like vast forests there.
But how does like one person get there though? Or were they also stranded?
Probably born there. Well, he had the plane.
Oh.
But anyways, yeah. So I'm just saying, once I found the cabin in the lake, I would settle and just be like, I mean, I wouldn't stop giving up hope that we'd be found. Like, yeah, sure. If you want to go put your help sign on the beach, that's helpful. Definitely do fire. You could do fires on the beach like every day. Try to make a massive fire, like on Pirates of the Caribbean when she makes the huge fire.
Yeah. Why is the rope gone?
They don't have alcohol to do it, but they could do dry brush and stuff.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Plus, there was like if the plane was on fire, my first thought would be like, okay, we need to get some of that because I'm not going to know how to start it. Because there was like,
well, I guess if I was, yeah, they should have utilized more of the rubber.
They really didn't
wreckage from the plane. I'm sure like the metal obviously is heavy and stuff, but like rip those seats out and like, try to find some stuff in there.
Utilize that plane.
Yeah, I would have ripped apart that plane and after, because obviously they got too. I'm surprised they didn't. Like I could understand why one reason they wouldn't want to stay in the plane is because the people died in there, but they obviously buried them, so the dead bodies aren't in there anymore.
Gone. And again, you just left shelter. Like that was pretty
for at least at first. But I mean, once they find the cabin in the lake, like you're set, man. I'm not saying it's paradise, but you've got a very.
I mean, at least you could survive,
right?
I like how we're talking about this. And now I'm going to think about I'm really terrified of flying. So this is great.
I'm not scared of flying.
I have to get like really drunk.
You could get lost in the woods in so many ways, though. Like not just a plane.
Does it look like I'm going to wander off into a wood? I'm not going to.
Okay, well, if you're saying you're not going to, it sounds like you're most likely to get lost.
100%. 100%.
So I'm just saying,
I will stay on the main road at all times.
It could be because I'm originally from Arkansas, so I've been camping in just like the middle of the woods. And then I've watched too
many movies.
I have a lot of people in my family who are hunters. I'm not, but I think and so I'm not saying I could hunt or whatever. I think I'm definitely more of a gatherer, but I guess I feel like I have more of a sense.
You have basic survival skills.
I do. I
don't. I'm a city girl. I can't.
Okay, Colette. Well, you're smart though. So I would figure out what you could do, Colette, if we were lost. Let's just hope that we find a cabin and a lake.
If we found a cabin, we'd be fine. I don't know why they didn't use the cabin.
Definitely the lake helps too.
Definitely the lake.
Yeah, water.
I at least know that you can, boil the water and get something to drink.
And bathe yourself and fish.
I mean, I watched Survivor. I could apply those Survivor skills.
Yeah. I guess we're farther along though where we are because that show takes place in the 90s, right?
Yeah. I think it's 90s.
Maybe it was less Survivor. It's pre-Survivor.
Pre-Survivor. They didn't know.
They didn't know.
It's okay.
And they're teenagers.
They're teenagers, but you know what? They should know better.
Yeah, like those shows. I feel like a show like that. I didn't watch Lost,
I watched
So
like
I
the
can't.
first 3 seasons.
Okay. How did they uh, how would you compare their experience to these teenage girls? Do you feel like it's a little less okay, so take out the whole like any kind of
Supernatural
supernaturalness.
element.
Yeah, how was their survive how were they organized compared to these teenage girls? Like was it a little less chaotic because they were adults?
Kind of like there was the whiny sister, I remember, that was kind of like the popular girl who happened to be Damon from Vampire Diaries sister on it.
Don't
He was
watch
like the reason I watched that show. But she was really whiny, but there was like one guy who knew what was up and he was like helping kind of organize everything.
Yeah.
I also haven't watched that show in like since it came out, so I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it's been a minute.
yeah.
But
We'll
yeah.
watch we highly recommend Yellowjackets if you can stomach
Most of it.
the graphicness of it, but also it's a little scary-ish, I guess. Suspenseful. It's suspenseful in some
I would say it's
places.
suspenseful. It's not
Yeah.
very like horror, like
No.
jump scare.
No, but it's got a lot of suspense and
It
stuff
does
in
have
it.
suspense. Yeah.
So
I would say
yeah.
that. I would say it has suspense, but it is good. And once I finish it, I'll let you know. Other than that, I've
Yeah,
been
text me and let me know.
Oh yeah, I would.
So we can talk season 2.
Season 2.
Because it definitely sets it up for a season 2. I will say it not really a spoiler, but it's a cliffhanger and they do not answer all the questions in season 1. I will say that you do not figure out how they get rescued.
So if you need to fill your like plane crash survivor type show, watch The Wilds next, because by the time you're done, probably the second season will be out. Because
I think it
also ended on a cliffhanger.
Honestly, I think right now I'm gonna put on my watch list Lost because now it makes me want to watch judge them for their survival skills.
Look, I don't know. I heard that last season was bad, so I don't know.
Well, there you have a lot of seasons for me to get through before then.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, what else do you got? Let's move on.
Let's move on from survivor shows. Okay, so other than that, I got to be a part of Sundance Film Festival this year, the virtual Sundance Film Festival, and I watched a couple movies.
Yeah, jealous.
So the first one I watched was Called Jane with Elizabeth Banks and Sigourney Weaver.
Okay.
It's a little movie about the Jane. I think it's called the Jane Initiative. Back in the 60s, where they provided safe and free abortions before it was legal.
Interesting.
And so
it's a woman power movie.
It is, but here's the main
those.
thing. Each one of these movies, I never watched a trailer and I never read a synopsis.
Yeah.
So I went in completely blind.
I like that sometimes.
I loved it so much that I knew nothing. I didn't even realize Elizabeth Banks was in Call Jane.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
I watched the documentary, not here, but when it first came out, the documentary Catfish.
Okay.
The documentary that the TV show's about.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friend who made us watch it was my friend in college who made us watch it. He's really into fishing. So he was like, oh, it's catfish. I think it's about catfishing. We're like, we don't want to watch a documentary about fish. And so he puts it on, makes us start watching it. And obviously our minds were blown.
It's not about fish.
And we had absolutely no idea what it was. So of course, as it's going along and more things are coming out and he's finding out that the person he's talking to is not who they're supposed to be, we were on the edge of our seats. And then the reveal, when he reveals the woman, we were like, what is going on?
Yeah. So
I highly recommend watching things without reading synopsis sometimes.
And you know what?
It works and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, yeah. There are times where it doesn't, but like in my case, it was fun because I mean, there's so many movies and like we only had like one account and there's 4 reporters on it. And
you had to watch them together.
Well, you kind of had to like space it.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't be on at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we had to space it. So I was like watching these like, after work and stuff. And I just did not want to watch trailers for them. But Call Jane was really good. Didn't expect it. It was like funny too, which is great.
Okay.
So I love those and there was like a lot of like people in it, like the like did you watch Gotham?
Yeah, I love Gotham.
So the guy that was the Riddler,
I love him.
He's in it and he's
really?
like this he's one of the doctors that like helps them and he is so weird in it but so good.
He is. That's just like in Gotham, and I'm telling you
what, weird.
He is one of the best
So
portrayals of the
good.
Riddler I've ever seen. So
He really is. He really is.
Gotham's kind of a hit or miss show for people. If people who don't know what that's about, it's basically like it centers around, it's Batman, but it centers around James Gordon when he's a detective, like before he becomes the commissioner. And like the show starts the night that Bruce Wayne's parents are murdered. So it's got kid Bruce Wayne, and then it starts introducing these villains, and it's less like it's less superhero power like kind of thing.
It's more story
and more like mobstery.
Yeah.
I
Especially
really
when
liked
it gets
it.
into
It's
like the Penguin and stuff.
oh,
And
yeah.
like Jada Pinkett Smith's character.
Oh yeah,
she was great.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
That show's really good.
But yeah, so the Riddler was in it. And that was another thing where I was watching. I was like, oh my God, the Riddler's in this? But yeah, I would highly suggest it. I think
where would you watch it?
Up. So I believe it just was bought, and I want to say Apple bought it, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Well, I'll watch for it.
So yeah, that's one to watch for. The other one I watched without a trailer or any type of synopsis is called Alice. Went completely blind into that one.
What's that about?
It's starring Keke Palmer and Common, and it is a girl that is a slave in the 19th century. But there's a plot twist.
I love a good plot twist.
There is a huge plot twist. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm pretty sure it's in the trailer, but I'm not going to say what it is. But it could have been a little bit better. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, disappointing.
It was a little disappointing. It was a little disappointing. Only because the story was a little let's put it this way. The storytelling wasn't there. It had a good story. It just wasn't told in a very good manner.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Okay. Disappointing. So I'll end on a high note. The last movie I watched at Sundance was Cha Cha Real Smooth. Great
Cha Cha Slide.
It kind of is. So it has
funny.
Dakota Johnson in it, and that's the only thing I knew about it.
Okay.
Because she was on the picture, she was on the little thumbnail, and I was like, I love Dakota Johnson. We're gonna watch this.
I do too. But it's like I love her, but then sometimes I feel like I shouldn't. Sometimes I feel like I should be annoyed by her, but then she's good in everything.
She's so good, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I should be annoyed by her.
I don't know what it is in me, but I like her a lot.
Whenever I think of her though, I think of that like Vanity Fair walk along thing that she did, or Vogue or whatever, where she's like, well, yeah, I have all these limes here because I just love to look at limes. And then she like did
that. My mom had
and then she was like, I don't even know why the limes were there. I'm allergic.
Oh my gosh. What's it about?
Okay, so Cha Cha Real Smooth. It is about this guy who just graduates from college, can't figure out his life. So he moves back home with his mother, who is played by Leslie Mann, who I wish was in it more.
Yeah.
Because I love her.
Oh, yeah.
She's not in it much, but when she is, she's amazing. And he goes to live at home, ends up taking his brother to a bar mitzvah. And the party's really lame.
Yeah.
So he gets the party started as a party starter. And all the Jewish moms are like, oh, he's good at this. So they
marry our daughters.
Yeah. Well, no, not so much that, but they like want them. They want him to do all of their kids' bar mitzvahs.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And but like the fun part during it is like he sees Dakota Johnson and he's like infatuated with her, as you should. Yeah. And she has a 12-year-old autistic daughter, and he like bonds with the daughter, and it's super cute. And he just becomes like a little part of their family, and it's adorable, and it's
that's
so
cute.
Good. And I hope that it gets bought somewhere so that you can watch it, because it's so good. I feel like it will be on like Hulu.
Okay, I'll watch out for that one.
I feel like it would be on a Hulu.
Okay.
There's been some at film festivals where I'm like, okay, this has to get bought by a streaming service of some sort, and then I'll see it on Hulu like a couple months later. So
okay.
I say watch out for that one and Call Jane, because it is really good. Give Alice a try. It's not bad. It's a good story. There's a twist, and I just maybe you'll think differently than me, but I just thought the storytelling could have been better.
Oh, okay.
That is what I watched. Sorry, it went on long.
I'm trying to decide. Oh, you think that went long? I'm trying
What
to decide.
did you watch?
Trying to decide where to start. I will obviously watch Yellowjackets. Okay, I watched. Okay, I'll just start with things I don't think we're gonna talk about. I watched Anna Karenina for you
that,
and your.
that has been on my list forever.
You've never watched it?
No.
Oh wow, interesting. I watched
to.
You talk about this obsession with Keira Knightley, and you've not seen the Keira Knightley movies that I've seen.
That's two Keira Knightley.
Two good ones.
Whole.
Well,
like,
okay, I wouldn't say
I went that far back.
Anna Karenina is not as good as Never Let Me Go. I will say that.
Okay.
It's okay. So Anna Karenina was a book that they assigned when I was in high school to the AP history kids. I was not in AP history, so I never read it. But I like the only thing I knew about it, they were like, oh, it's a Russian soap opera or whatever. And so I didn't really know what it was about. So
isn't Pietro in that?
He is in that.
Yeah.
He is. And so I decided to watch it. The storyline, I'm conflicting. The story is a little boring.
Okay.
But
I could see that.
But the way they filmed it, the filmmaking of it is a piece of art. Like
it looked like that.
They filmed it as if it was though, God, it's so confusing. It's like between each scene, like the transition between each scene is like they're changing scenes in a play.
Oh, okay.
It is so interesting.
So is it like artsy or is it like
yeah because at first when you're watching it and they do it, you're like, wait, is this a play? Or is this, for someone who doesn't know anything about the plot line, you're like, is this about a play? But no, that's just how they did the movie. And for someone who likes filmmaking and appreciates the art of film, it's really great. It's super great.
It looks so really like pretty.
It's literally like the transition, the start of it to the end and the end of each scene. So we start it and then you get into it and you forget that it's like this play style, whatever. And then they start to go to the next one. It's really interesting.
Okay.
My redheaded love, Donald Gleason's in that movie. Jude Law is in that movie.
I didn't know Donald Gleason's in it.
Yeah. He plays like a side character. He's like a side character with his own storyline. That doesn't. Okay. His storyline does not have anything to do with the main storyline.
Okay. I knew Pietro was in it, and
he's the main. He's the main guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that blonde hair in it?
Oh, Cara Devan. How do you say her name? Devangeline.
Cara Delevingne. Cara Delevingne.
Yeah. The way I was saying it, though.
What did you say?
I don't know. Cara Delevingne. That's not what I said, though.
How do you say Avril Lavigne? Do you say Avril Lavigne?
If I saw her name written out, I would have pronounced it correct, but I couldn't think of how it was spelled. She's in it randomly. She has like no lines, but she's in it.
Pops up randomly in things.
Yeah.
So I watched something like, where'd she come from?
Okay, so I watched that, and then I was thinking, oh man, Donald Gleason, I really like that guy. So then I decided to watch Brooklyn. Have you ever watched Brooklyn? That has Saoirse Ronan in it.
Oh yes, I did watch that.
I can say
yes.
So that was
that really movie's good.
That movie's really good.
Is that when she like dates the Italian guy?
Yeah, so it's about like it's Saoirse Ronan is like she's immigrating to the US. It's like in the 20s. No, 30. No, what is it? 30s?
It was 30s, before 40s. The Great Depression, right?
I don't remember. But anyway, it's around that time. So she's immigrating
from Ireland, right? She was immigrating
from Ireland to the US. So she goes to Brooklyn, New York, and it's just about her. The first half of the movie is about her like settling in, and she's by herself, doing things on her own. So she meets this Italian guy and like falls in love, and it's just like this whole like obviously his lifestyle is completely different than her lifestyle from Ireland and stuff like that. And then halfway through the movie, she has to go back to Ireland for something to visit, not to live. And while she's there, she meets Donald Gleason, who's Irish. He's Irish. So, and then she like kind of falls for him, and she's got to choose between like, do I go back to Brooklyn or do I stay in Ireland? So
I haven't watched that in a while. What's that on?
I had to rent it. I really wanted to watch it. Yeah.
That was
So
a good movie.
it's a good movie. It's really
I
good.
haven't watched it since I saw it in theaters. So that was a while
This is my
ago.
first time watch, so it was really good.
Wow.
Okay, so speaking of Helen Mirren, I watched The Queen,
I
which
love
was not
her.
good. I didn't
It
think it was
wasn't?
that good. No, have you not seen it?
No, but I've seen the trailers and she looks so regal.
It's not good.
It's not.
I think she won an Oscar for it. So I guess it was good
Did
for
she?
its time. But okay, as someone who loves The Crown, it's not good. It's so it follows the weeks after Princess Diana's death, but as told through the royal family,
Oh.
specifically the Queen. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a lot of famous people in it, most of whom I cannot name. It's got the guy. Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up because you're gonna be mad that I can't think of these people's names. But obviously Helen Mirren's in it. She plays the Queen.
I do love her. She's so regal. Just without like being like she is a queen in real life, but like she's just a very regal person.
Okay, it's got Michael Sheen, who plays
Voltaire.
Yeah, that's it. You got it. He plays the Voltaire in the movie. He plays Tony Blair, who was the prime minister at the time. He had just been appointed prime minister when Princess Diana died. James Cromwell plays Prince Philip. James Cromwell's in a lot of things. The Green Mile. I was trying to think of what I recently
he was
saw
in the
him.
Green Mile.
What did I recently see him in?
He kind of looks like Prince Philip.
Yeah, he looks more like Prince Philip than the guy who's going to play Prince Philip in next
the
season.
Crown.
Yeah.
I
want to say I saw him in American Horror Story. Yeah, he was in season 2 of American Horror Story. Alex Jennings plays Prince Charles. Alex Jennings is a popular British actor. He was in The Crown. He played what's his name in The Crown? The David, the one who gives up the crown to the Queen's uncle. The Queen's uncle. He plays the Queen's uncle. He's also in a show that I love on I think it was a PBS show. I'm not really sure. It's called Victoria. It's about Queen Victoria. He's in that show.
I have not watched Victoria.
It's very good. Anyways, they're all in it. And I mean, I think I'm pretty sure Helen Mirren got an Oscar for that movie, but yeah. But wasn't all that a bag of chips.
Okay.
I also watched Eternals.
What'd you
Eternals.
Think? Controversial opinions.
Fell flat. It fell flat.
It did fall a little flat, but I don't.
I liked some of the characters. I did like some of the characters.
Did you love Angelina Jolie as much as I did?
She was okay. I was disappointed at the end. Okay, so like when you're first watching and you're being introduced to all these characters, you can obviously tell that every character is using their natural accents, right?
Right.
Everyone's using their natural accents. So at first, I thought Angelina Jolie was, and I was like, hey, props for you, girl. You're using your regular accent. Then by the end, it's like this weird hybrid British thing. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it kind of was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I just love her so much that like I just kind of blacked out a little bit.
Nah, I really liked Gilgamesh. I really liked
Gilgamesh.
What's the one? King something. The one who's the movie star.
Oh, yeah.
Their names are so weird.
I can't remember. I like
and his assistant. I love.
Yeah, I love the assistant. I also love Druig.
Oh, I didn't like it.
You didn't like Druig?
No, he was a jerk
at first, but then he was like,
no,
not.
I didn't like him. His name is Kingo.
You're a Hamilton fan, right?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Sorry, controversial opinion.
No, just because Icarus. Every time I heard his name, I just kept hearing the song in my head from Hamilton. It's like you married an Icarus who flew too close to the sun.
Oh, nice.
And I would like keep singing it in my head every time.
Now, every time I saw him, I thought Game of Thrones. Kingo, I liked Fastos. I liked Makari. I liked Makari a lot.
I love Makari. She's actually on Walking Dead, and she's amazing on it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. But anyways, yeah, no, it fell flat for me. Yeah, I mean, but it fell flat for a lot of people. So I don't
moments.
It does have its good moments. I think the cast played well together.
They did.
So if it had its casting was great.
What's your opinion on Sprite?
Annoying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I wish that Jon Snow would have been in it just a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyways, moving on. I watched Yellowjackets. I started Dexter. A friend of
The
mine
new
wanted
one?
me to watch.
Oh,
I've never watched
you
Dexter.
never watched it. I just
So I
remember.
watched the first 2 episodes and then I liked it, but I wanted to watch something else. I think I watched Yellowjackets right after.
It's not a show to binge. It's a little
no,
heavy.
and it's really, so I watched it and I'm like, okay, I knew the plot line, right? And so I watched it and I'm like, this is very CSI, which I love. But yeah, no, I'll get into it, and it'll be when there's a lull in things to watch, I'll obviously watch more of it, but there was a lot to watch, so I watched 2 episodes. I liked it. I just am going to get back into it. I started Euphoria, and it's kind of it's to me. It's more right? It's more than Dexter, but I've been trying to watch more.
I was like,
I'm trying hard. I'm trying harder to. I guess I'm trying to catch up so that when I'm on the internet, nothing gets spoiled, because the internet's talking about it a lot, but it's still And what I think it is that it's a very shock and awe TV show, which is the first time that some of the younger generation is seeing something like that. But as someone who watched Skins, like we talked about, it's less jarring.
This is true.
That's and why Shameless, I felt Shameless like had its own little jarring stuff in it. So when things happen in the show, I'm like desensitized to it, I guess, is what I can say.
You know what it is the story is interesting enough that keeps me watching it.
I think the storyline's boring. At least the first season,
it's
so boring.
When you get like halfway in, it gets like, okay, so what is this? And I'm still trying to watch it just to figure out what it is, because something obviously has to happen. But like these last couple episodes of the second season, I'm like, this is really just a shock value show at this point, because there is no I thought this was going to go somewhere and it still hasn't. And I'm getting a little tired of it.
The plot lines in it, there's no plot line in it that I haven't seen in another shock and awe show.
Yeah. But Zendaya acts like great.
No, her acting is great. Yeah. Sometimes when she's like zonked out of her mind, I'm like, okay, I'm bored.
I know.
The like her being upset and stuff like that stuff. Like Zendaya is a great actress, but it falls flat to me. So I'm sorry. I kind of bored with it.
It's totally fine.
Desensitized to that.
I am too. It's just I forget sometimes like the shock value of the show, and then I'll like watch it and I'll be like, oh my god, I forgot all about this.
Yeah. Okay. This is something I thought you would have watched because you talked about watching it, and I said I didn't want to watch it, but I did anyways, and that's Emily in Paris.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's right after The Great for me. I've decided that's going to be my new show.
It is corny.
Is it?
But it's more adult than I thought it would be.
Okay.
I decided I watched it while I was cleaning. And it was very like kind of like your getting ready thing. It's very easy to watch while you're cleaning.
Okay.
Because you don't have to like focus in.
Yeah, I like where I don't have to focus.
Yeah, and I really like, so I took French in high school and college, so I really like the French language and all that stuff. And so it was fun to me because you kind of learn some French while you're watching it because she's learning French. And so you get to pick that kind of stuff up. And it's easy to watch. I'll say that.
I heard that her job is just like unrealistic, and that was like the one turn off that one of my friends had.
She goes from like just getting social media to being like an influencer, and it's like right away, and it's so it's like your standard
romantic comedy plot line then from the early 2000s.
It's very romantic comedy. It's very romantic comedy. It makes me want to go to Paris really badly.
Okay.
So it's an easy one to watch. It definitely should be your next getting ready show.
Okay.
I made my mom watch it, and she like sailed through both seasons, and I haven't finished season 2 because a lot of these shows I started, besides Yellowjackets, I had to finish it.
Yeah.
A lot of these I like started watching a few episodes, and then I found something even better, and kind of
right.
So I watched that. I'm watching a docuseries on A&E, The Secrets of Playboy.
Is that good?
It is. It's really good. As someone who, as a teenager, preteen, and got sucked into watching Girls Next Door on E.
Same.
It's very interesting. If you liked that show, you should watch it because it blows your mind.
Okay. Yeah, I saw something on E the other day. They did like an interview with Holly Madison.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this looks interesting.
Mm-hmm. It dives into it, and it does get interviews from both sides, like obviously the women, and then it gets interviews from other people who are like, well, they signed up for it and all that kind of stuff like that. So it gives you both sides, but it's still like, yeah, eye opener. It's an eye opener. And then this show I watched in like one night because the episodes were 20 minutes, and I recommend it to everyone. It is so good. It's on Netflix, and the title is a mouthful. It's called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window.
That's the Kristen Bell show.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch it.
Watch it. That one you can't watch while getting ready. You need to be able to just like sit down. But the episodes are like 24 minutes. So good. Is
it a comedy or is it like a mystery or is it both?
It's its own genre. I just read an article where they interviewed Kristen Bell, and it really feels like it made its own genre.
Okay. It felt like a little Dead to Me. Like, have you watched Dead to Me?
Okay, yes. And it is, but it's satire.
Okay.
Which I did not pick up on right away at all.
So that's good to know going in.
At first, I was like, okay, Kristen Bell's in it. I bet it's a comedy. So then it starts, and right away, she kind of makes some kind of a joke. And I'm like, okay, it's going to be a comedy or whatever. And then it starts getting really serious and like a little like suspenseful and stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe I actually, now that I think about it, I forgot about the first joke she makes off the top. And I just started getting into it. And then I started picking up on the like satire stuff. Okay. So like, okay, one thing, and they promote it this way, is she drinks like a bottle of wine every time she sits down with a glass. It's one of those glasses that holds a whole bottle.
In the poster. Yeah.
I thought it was weird at first, but then as the show's going on, it like finally clicked when I started realizing how satire it was. And she's like pouring these bottles. I was like, oh my God, I get it now. Like they're making fun of the trope of being the woman who saw something as a drinker or whatever. And I don't know why I didn't pick it up right away. I think at some point I was like, geez, she's drinking a lot of wine. I'm like, oh, I get it. It's
That's
satire.
So funny.
It's so good. It has a twist ending.
Okay.
It's really good. And I was reading that it's just a mini series, and a mini series usually is just like, that's it. You get one season, several episodes, and you're done. But it sets it up where it could have another season, I guess, if they wanted to. And I'm telling you, no one that has to do with that show is going to be listening. But if you are, make a second season because it was so good.
I hope that happens because, Handmaid's Tale is a mini series technically, and they have like 6 seasons.
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that, but you are right. Oh, are you sure it didn't move to?
It falls under. I thought it fell under a miniseries.
So I thought it eventually moved. I don't remember.
So it's something else that has a lot of seasons, and I'm like, how is this?
Well, American Story follows under mini series, but it's because each
different every
season's
time.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but this show is so good. I don't want to say so funny because it's not like hilarious.
Right.
That's why it's
but there's like funny parts.
The humor is very, very subtle.
Okay. I love that type of humor.
It's more like when it happens, you're kind of like I don't know. You're not like laughing out loud, but to yourself, you're like, that's funny.
Okay. I have to watch it. It's settled. That's my next thing. After Yellowjackets, that's my next pay attention show, as I call it.
Yeah, you'll get through it really fast. The episodes are really short.
I didn't realize they were that short.
Yeah, they're really short. I'm still watching Book of Boba Fett. It's boring.
Yeah.
But are you caught up?
No, I didn't watch last week's. I heard last week's ending was really good because
last week's entire episode is great.
Yeah, because Bryce Dallas Howard directed it.
That's not why.
Really? I know.
Do you not know anything about it?
I saw what happens. I'm like,
it's not a huge spoiler, but it's literally a Mandalorian episode.
Yeah, and that's why. And like everybody was like, this is why she needs to direct more of these and have her own type thing. And I'm like, I've been saying that.
Yeah, no, she's great. She's
such a good director.
And then the last thing I watched is not a TV show or a movie, but I feel like we're gonna have a lot to say about it. I found I found a copy that was called on YouTube. It popped up on my YouTube suggestion thing, and it was literally called Slime Tutorial.
Oh, so you watched Broadway show. See how I knew immediately.
I
know
watched
the slime tutorial as well.
No, I watched Angels in America.
Mm.
Have you watched it?
No, I was gonna get a Broadway HD account specifically to watch.
Oh, is it on Broadway HD? Well,
I think
I
it
will
is.
save you time. It's called Slime Tutorial.
Slime tutorial what though?
Which Angels in America, I think, is like, how long is that?
It's a long play. It's like 4 hours, 5 hours.
Hours.
Like that. Yeah.
Hours. Like each slime tutorial was an hour long.
Yeah. But
I buffered through it. I buffered through it to only specific
He's amazing.
scenes.
I seen scenes from it.
Andrew Garfield stars in it. He got a Tony, and
unbelievable.
Amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. Like
just from the clips that I've seen like circulating, I'm like, this
like on TikTok.
So good. Yeah, they're on TikTok all the time.
Yeah. He plays a gay man who I don't know. He's not a drag queen.
He has AIDS though in it, right? That's what it's about.
That's what it's about. It's about he is dying of AIDS. But there's like a scene. There's a scene where he's in drag. Up. Most of the play he's not dressed up.
Right.
But there is a scene where he is in drag. He looks like Norma Desmond from Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, he does. I've
in the scene where he's in drag. But he is, it's crazy. Like you watch it, and by the end of it, you forget that it's Andrew Garfield because he transforms himself in his mannerisms, in his voice. All of it is so believable, and I was blown away.
You need to send me a link to that slime tutorial.
I will send you. It's the best slime tutorial I've ever seen.
I love slime.
And yeah, you can just like buffer through if you want to. The other side plot I think has to do with a Mormon couple and the woman's like losing her mind. I'm not really sure. I buffered through it all. I buffered through that. There's like 2 plot lines, and then Nathan Lane is in it, and I buffered through his too, so I don't really know what his. I think he's like the one that connects the 2 stories. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
but
I remember him winning the Tony for that, and I was like, oh, I gotta.
Nathan Lane or Andrew Garfield?
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, I don't remember him winning a Tony for it, but I had heard that he was in it.
Yeah.
And it's.
And I was like, what's he in?
Yeah.
And then I keep seeing it advertised. I think it's Broadway HD, and I was like, ooh, I should get an account.
I just kept seeing clips on YouTube, and I was like,
same. I saw it on YouTube and TikTok, and I was like, I really need to watch this.
Yeah.
But I knew it was long.
Yeah.
You gotta dedicate time to that.
I was literally laying in bed, and I was watching it on my phone.
Yeah.
So it was one of those where time gets away from you kind of thing. Okay, let's move on to what I want to watch. Lost now. I want to watch Lost. I need to watch the 4th season of Ozark. I still haven't. I'm gonna get to it. Ozark's a show that I need to be in the mood for. I just have to be in a certain kind of mood, and I really like the show. I just have to be in a certain mood for it.
Okay.
Death on the Nile. Have you seen the trailers for that?
I have, and I'm supposed to go to a screening of it on Wednesday.
Nice. Okay, well, cool. You can give me
I can talk to you about it after.
I can talk to you about an hour. So basically, it's like not a I guess it's a follow-up, a sequel.
It's another Agatha Christie. It's
kind of a sequel in that the detective's the same.
Yeah.
Of Murder on the Orient Express. So it's the same detective solving a case on a cruise.
Yes.
Yeah, cruise ship. And it's obviously got another all-star cast in it, so it looks really good. And the show Dollface on Hulu.
I started that like a long time ago. I got through a couple episodes, and then I kind of just got bored.
Oh, well, that's
unfortunately
that is a shame. But that's what I have on my watch list. I still have a bunch that I haven't, like everything. I have a lot that I still haven't watched. House of Gucci, Midnight Mass, Mainstream, Boy A, Tragedy of Macbeth, and The French Dispatch. Oh, you know what I rewatched and I thought about you? Pride and Prejudice. I watched it after watching, or I either watched it after or before I watched Anna Karenina. So I got your little hand flexing
The
thing.
hand flex.
Still
Oh,
didn't
so
get it. It still didn't like do anything
didn't
for me,
hit?
but no, it didn't. And I
Yeah.
also rewatched Under the Silver Lake, which I'm pushing you again to watch.
It's on Showtime, right?
It's on Showtime.
I have Showtime now, so I can do it.
Watch Never Let Me Go.
Uh-huh.
Want to force you to watch that before our next podcast.
The thing is, I do want to watch it. That is on my watch list still. I want it to like make sure I'm in the right mood to watch it so I can appreciate it, if that makes sense.
Okay,
I just haven't been
fine
in the
then
mood.
watch Under the Silver Lake. It's
Okay,
really
that is also on my watch
good.
list since I have Showtime, and you texted me that it's on there, so
yeah, it's on Showtime.
Yeah. And now Anna Karenina has been on my list, so I will watch that. So I know it's long too.
I guess it was. I can't remember.
I thought it was long.
I don't know what I was doing that day, but I obviously wasn't paying attention.
And the obviously the Kristen Bell show is on my watch list.
Yeah,
that's another one. And I'm trying to think what else. I had those written down somewhere, and then I lost the paper that I put them on at work.
Also, now you don't know what's on your watch list. That's what you're telling me right now.
I don't. I'm trying to remember.
So you
but
want me
that
to
was
tell,
one of them.
I can tell you what's on your watch list then.
Tell me what's on my watch list.
Everything that I just talked about today, except Yellowjackets, is on your watch list.
Pretty much, actually. I'm not even kidding. And I do want to watch the Andrew Garfield play. So you need to
also send that to you
with that
now.
tutorial.
Yeah, I will send that to you now. Trying to think. No, I think that's about it. So
I'm trying to think too, because I actually think there was something on HBO that I put on my list
to watch. I watched a trailer today, something on HBO that I was like, oh, I should watch this.
Yeah, Death on Nile is on my watch list because I'm supposed to go see it, and I didn't even know that was coming out. First of all, there was hardly any.
I didn't either. Okay, so the reason I knew about it is because on my way to work, when I get off one of the bridges, there's a billboard. It's I don't know who owns the billboard. I for the longest time I thought Disney owned it because it's always Disney movies on it. And it's it says Death on the Nile, and I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, like
because I always associate this billboard with Disney.
I think actually Disney is doing it. I think they're a part of it.
Were they a part of West Side Story?
Technically, yes, because it was 20th century.
That's it. Okay, so Disney. I think Disney either has a contract with this billboard or owns it or whatever.
It's probably part of 20th century, and that's why.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's why when I thought
it is 20th Century
like,
Studios,
that doesn't sound very Disney.
It is. It's 20th Century Studios. I just looked it up.
Okay.
So yeah, so Disney owns it technically, which really confuses me because they need to either release things on Hulu if it's that little bit edgier, thing, or on Disney. Like West Side Story didn't really do well in theaters, but I feel like it would do really well on streaming.
Maybe I just don't know how the money works streaming versus
either do I,
movies.
But like it just did. The only movie that did well was Spider-Man because it was so hyped.
Spider-Man is still doing really well.
Still doing really well. But like
Spider-Man is now the number
but there's a hype behind it, you know?
Highest grossing film of all time. Number 5 on the list. I cannot figure out how Avatar is still the number 1. Never saw Avatar. Everybody I talked to who did see Avatar is like, it's not that great.
It's not. But you know what it was? At the
overseas.
Time, but yeah, it was overseas, and it was at the time it was like cutting edge, and everybody was talking about it.
I guess it's how Titanic's number 3 still probably. It was overseas because that's what
theater.
It's the really
yeah.
It definitely has to do with I apologize, I lied. Spider-Man is number 6. I don't know why I thought it was number 5. It's number 6.
It was 5th. I thought I read 5th too.
It is 6th according to this, and I believe it. So number 1's Avatar. Number 2, Avengers Endgame. That makes sense. Number 3 is Titanic, who held the number 1 spot until 2009 when Avatar came out. Number 4, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. That makes sense. And then number 5, Avengers Infinity War. And then we have Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man still needs to make more than $300 million to overcome. No, I would say over $400 million to overcome Avengers Infinity War.
I'm actually surprised that it didn't, only because of how much a ticket is these days.
Okay, so I think it very well could get there because just this last weekend it made 11 million.
Yeah, it's still going. There's a lot of hype and there's a lot of people seeing it not once, not twice, but 3 times. Actually, speaking of watch, I saw it again in our and I loved it.
I have thought about going to see it again, but I just haven't.
So here's one thing that I've gotten after my second watch. I was like, yeah, there are a few plot holes.
Okay, what hit me?
But
what
I
do you got?
don't mind it. Just the whole I think we touched on it in our Spider-Man spoiler episode, is that I mean that they don't really explain like the different times. So like obviously Tobey Maguire was older.
Sorry. I think my math was wrong. Did I say 3 million? I meant 300 million.
I thought you said 300 million.
Did I? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was getting my calculator out to double check. So
no, I'm
maybe
pretty sure you said 300.
Maybe it won't pass Infinity
It's
War.
all good.
Math is not that's why I'm a journalist.
I don't.
Okay, so Tobey Maguire, plot hole.
And like just some of the things with the villains. That's all. I was like, okay, little plot hole, but I don't mind it. I'm okay with it.
Like Max knowing that he died.
Yeah, and also Max knowing Spider-Man, he never knew Peter Parker's identity.
No. So, yeah, I guess you're right.
He never knew his identity, and it brought through everybody who knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
Because he was revealed right before they died.
Was he though? Did he reveal himself?
To all those other people, yeah. The mask gets taken off.
Andrew Garfield revealed himself to Jamie Foxx?
No. I'm saying the other ones.
Yeah, but like I'm saying Jamie Foxx knew.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying that plot hole makes sense, but you said he didn't reveal himself to the others. And I said, yeah, he did. They knew. The others know because
the others knew. Yeah, because like Green Goblin knew.
Yeah.
And Doc Ock knew. Does the Sand Guy know? Sand Guy knew.
I don't remember.
They said, "Hey, Peter," but yeah. So he was like the one plot hole, and I was like, all right, I'm okay with it.
His whole thing was like a plot hole, like him looking different.
Yeah, they just wanted to make him look better than in the second Spider-Man because everybody hated it.
Yeah,
he did not look good in it, but the press for that movie, still one of my favorite things ever.
For Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
Like their interviews and stuff.
Yeah, the unscripted with the 3 of them. I forgot Jamie Foxx was even on that interview with Andrew and Emma.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That was another one that I saw. So
all right, sweet. So anyways, we've been talking a long time as always. Several tangents. We know what would happen if we got lost in the woods.
I would not survive.
I think I could survive for a while if I had my cabin, if I had my lake, and a vast amount of wilderness. I think I could, and then no one driving me nuts. I think I could survive it. But yeah, so thanks for listening, guys. We will try to get back on a schedule, but who knows what's going to happen. Our lives change a lot. Thanks always for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, on my watch list for all of them.
We also have a TikTok now.
We do have a TikTok now. Yes, on my watch list is what the TikTok is called. You can also find us, like I said, on YouTube. That's where Colette puts together a beautiful collaboration of photos because I refuse to let her show the video of us recording this. One day we'll get there. Whenever I have a clean office, then we'll do some video podcasting. But
whenever
for now,
I decide just to not wear pajamas and not do my makeup. So
same. We record these like late at night. And basically we record them and then go to bed. So we're already jammied out. But anyways, yeah, thanks for listening. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this week. So Colette, play that music.